What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. Man, dude. You know. Last week, guys, man, on a serious note. Last week, I came on here and I recorded around 7 minutes of a topic that I was really excited to talk about, but there was just something in my heart that wasn't in it, man. And that topic was, what does a 10 mean to you? I wanted to ask all of you guys, what is a 10 to all of you? Because of the recent discussion in the gaming community of what a 10 means over there on that side with recent releases and whatnot, I wanted to bring that to the anime community and talk about arcs, chapters, episodes, and whole series, and what a 10 means to me and what a 10 means to y'all. And I tried dividing it and, trying to put together reasons why I give certain things a 10 in a sort of like objective type of way. And like 7 minutes into recording that video, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, this isn't me. I'm not the type of person who wants to objectify my 10s. I'm a very subjective human being. I feel like I don't need a reason. If something is really a 10, I know it is. Within my heart, And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Because that was a video I really wanted to do, and I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see if I can do it again. And this week I tried it again, not recording, but just writing out some notes and whatnot, and I was like, nah, my heart's just not in this. And lo and behold, man. Lo and behold that I was given the answer right before my very eyes. The little series called Sangatsu no Lion, man. Also known as March Comes In Like a Lion. I don't even know where to begin, dude. I don't, man. Today's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy last 24 hours. Because last night, I was in the Goto stuff in season 1, which is like episode 14, 15, somewhere in there. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna watch a couple episodes. And then I'm gonna do what I have to do the rest of the day. And I ended up watching 30 episodes today, man. Somewhere around that ballpark. From the end of season 1, that final stretch, that final 8 episodes, and then all of season 2. And season 2, man. Season 2 might have one of my favorite stretch of episodes in anime, man. Up there with my absolute favorites. I can't even begin to tell y'all how much I love those episodes, man. The entire season was fantastic. The entire season. But there was a stretch toward the beginning portion of season 2 that was hitting me in ways I didn't know I could still be hit at this age. It was that type of feeling. Hinata Kawamoto, man. Rei Kiriyama. Oh, man, dude. Yo. Dude, I gotta give a massive thank you, man. You know, to everybody, because this series at this point has been recommended to me by so many people. But I remember Ragi last year, our Ragi, the same person who got me into Monogatari. He was pushing the series heavy to me. My boy Shadow was pushing the series heavy to me. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on YouTube. This series has been recommended to me for a very, very long time. Even by people that don't even know me like that, right? And I guess it's just because y'all know me better than I know myself at this point, man. Y'all knew that this was my type of series. And from the very, very beginning, from episode 1, that episode 1, 2, and 3 stretch, by the end of episode 3, I was like, I love this. Like, I like this. By the end of season 1, I was like, I'm here. I'm here, man. This is fantastic. But around halfway through season 2, I was like, yo, this is legit becoming a favorite. This is legit becoming an all-time favorite here, man. This is going up as the episodes progress. And it was then that I arrived at my answer, man. What I was searching for. You know, what is a 10 to me? I'm mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, 30 episodes the entire day, but I wouldn't regret it for anything, man. The highs that I went on today with this series is something that I know I'll never forget, just based on the experiences similar to this that I've had before in the past. These are memories I would never even dream of trading away, man. And I feel like it's those experiences when you have those episodes with Akari, with Hina, with Momo, the trollish cats, and with Ray just chilling at home, trolling, comedy, and that brings a tear to your eye. You got something special, man. You got something really, really special whenever you start branching out, even apart from the main cast, and the amount of care and love put into the entire cast, from Shimada to Nikaido. The execution on certain themes. I've never seen any piece of literature I've ever experienced tackle bullying in the way this series has, man. It took it to a level that I'm still attempting to process just how masterclass that was handled. You know, there's arc beginnings that have gotten me in the past. There's a lot of great beginnings to arcs out there, man. My GOAT, you know, SA, phenomenal arc beginning. The Future arc, you know, Water 7. There's a lot of great arc beginnings out there, man. But this one? The one I believe it started, what was it, episode 2, episode 3, when the June screen came up and no opening played before the episode for the first, I knew I was in for something. But when that part 2 hit and it said Ladybug something part 1, from then until the end of season 2 was just, I don't know, man. That right there is why I love this medium with all my heart. That right there, that stretch is what this is capable of. That right there is why I love storytelling. It's why I want to do what I want to do as a career. That entire stretch was hitting here. It was hitting here more than it was hitting up here. And that's when something is a 10 to me, man. That's truly when something is a 10 to me. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say, bro. I literally, I just finished episode 44 and I pulled off the camera because I was like, I can't hold this in. I can't, bro. You know, this is something that already all day I was ready to explode. I wanted to talk to somebody about it, but I couldn't stop watching episodes. You know how sad I was when it ended? When episode 44 came around and nothing was there, when I pressed R1 and it wouldn't go to the next episode? I wanted to be with these characters for as long as possible, man. Everyone. All of them. So much care. I cared about every single character that had any significant amount of screen time by the end of the series. I can't tell you one character I didn't care about that was introduced in the series. I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. I don't know, man. This one here was special, dog. It was real deal special. The visuals. This series has a way with imagery that, man, last year when I watched Gatsuri, I was like, this is never going to be matched in terms of imagery and in terms of just visuals. Like, I'm never going to experience something like this ever again. And I ate my words. I ate my words early in that season 1. The visuals, the care put into the imagery in this series with every single scene. There are certain images where you don't even need dialogue. You can tell how a person is feeling just based on how the background is moving. If the background is red, if the background is white, if the background is this turquoise-ish color, you're always able to tell how the characters feel just based on the images. It's a series that takes full advantage of the visuals and of your hearing, man. Because I'll tell you what, bro. That episode, there was a few episodes that really broke me. But in that stretch that I'm talking about, season 2, listen to me, man. Listen to me. When Hina started talking about how what she did wasn't wrong, and she was yelling that from the core of her being, I forgot I was watching an anime, man. I wasn't worried about voice acting performance. I wasn't worried about nothing. That was Hina to me. And that's when I knew that the voice actress did her job correctly. Because I was completely lost and immersed in the moment. And especially what followed after, with the visuals, the audio, both the voice acting and the music, I couldn't help it. When Gramps started giving his promo, telling Hina that what she did was not wrong. When my man's after catching dubs went straight over to Kyoto. When Nikaido couldn't even finish the match, dog. When you have a character like Nikaido, man, that from the very beginning of the series you knew that something was coming, man. It was building up with his illness. And when that stuff hit in the middle of the stuff that was already going down with Hina, I was like, yo, what is going on? And then there was this one episode ending that hit so hard. I mean, there was multiple episodes that hit hard, but that one was up there, man. Yo, when Kiriyama was looking through Nikaido's game records in his match with, forget his dude, but the guy with the shaved head, that even he had an incredible story in the episode. It was one episode, and I was like, yo, I love the guy. Amazing dude. But when he was reading off the game records of of the guy that he faced in that match. And he was like, yo, this game record reads more like an adventure novel. And that was presented like Nikaido was on the Thousand Sunny, ready to go on an adventure. I was like, dude, this series knows what it's doing when it comes to its visuals. It knows, because that hits more powerful, especially with the type of art that it'll have at times, where it goes into like those Crayola-esque drawings that just look so glorious. Man, dude, it was so amazing, man. Like I don't know, dog. Ray, man. You know, I didn't realize how much I liked this character. Because from the very beginning, I was like, man, this is a very relatable dude. I was like, yo, I mess with him. I vibes with him. I know how he's feeling. I know what he's going through. And every time, because this series gives so much time to giving everybody their own thought process and how they feel before doing certain things, especially when it comes to characters like Ray and Hina, and characters that get a lot of the screen time, especially in the later parts of the story. You always get to know what Ray thinks before he executes something or he does something. And that gives a like next level of relatability, man, that you normally that you get most of the time from like a book that is read in first person, because you are able to see someone's thoughts before they go out and say what they need to say or do what they need to do, or you're always in their head. And then the series is able to handle it in a way that is kind of like that. And that's what I really, really enjoyed about how when the perspective changed and you had your new narrator, like during the Hina stuff, or of course with Ray, it made everything feel like you could connect with it on a more personal level. And I think that's why the Ray stuff in season 2 hit as hard as it did, because you had everything from season 1, the entire journey that was there, everything that had been going on. You already knew my man's has gone through a lot up until where we are in present day, and he continues to go through a lot. And through the W's and the L's, you feel it. But in season 2, where he's challenged, not just in the game of shogi, but in reality, when stuff is hitting the fan in reality, and he has to come to grips with who he is as a person and the fact that he has to grow. He has to grow. And it's not one of those, like before in the past where he's like, oh man, I don't know. No. Now, when he saw Hina coming through the door that day, that changed everything forever. That changed everything forever. And then what happened with Nikaido? And I just loved it so much, because after that, Ray became a man of action, but it wasn't like this extreme turn that just happened out of nowhere. It was a gradual change and development as the series progressed. And it's not like he completely changed. He's still the same. But there's certain qualities, certain things that are different now. When it comes to Ray, when it comes to his confidence, when it comes to certain aspects of who he is as a person. It was those hardships and those things that he tried to do. You know, there were certain moments where he continued to say, I'm not doing enough, that I really wanted to punch him in the face. Because I was like, yo, it felt like I was looking at myself in the mirror. Because I'm sure a lot of y'all feel the same way as well. How many times have we said that too? Where we're talking to somebody or trying to give advice, and we feel like we're not doing enough for that person we care about. We feel like we're not doing even the slightest bit, but to that person, what you're doing is the world to them. But you don't know that. You don't know that, man. And so every time Ray kept asking Hina, or like telling her, I'm sorry that I'm not doing enough, it's like, dude, do you know how much you've done? And it's stuff like that that really makes me love Ray's character. Because even though he grows and progresses, he still has so many of those things that are so true and integral to his character that are that are there. And that he has to learn to be with, because that's just who he is. And I love that the author of this series, I do not know the author of this series, but this author is a genius when it comes to understanding characters. And I think that's why I love this series as much as I do, because most of my favorite works of fiction all revolve around having incredible characters, man. You know, my Metal Gear Solid, my Final Fantasy VI, my Gintama, my One Piece, man. I love these things with every fiber of my being. You know, and it's because the characters are so great, and because the world that surrounds them is so great. And this series is just like that, man. The characters are so fantastic. I genuinely, man, there are certain episodes where they are literally just cooking food. They're just making a meal. And I'm loving every second of it. That's how amazing these characters are, man. And I think that's why that arc and that stuff that happened within that season, and the stuff that happened at the end of season 1 and then season 2, the entirety of it, the stuff was so, yeah, dude. When I found out, like, everything that was actually going on in that plot line and stuff with Shimada, man, and what he was going through with the old timers there toward the end, man. Oh, dude, with his match, dang it, man, was Suji? It was the guy who won the Kinsho tournament against Shimada. Yo, that's another episode. I was just with the visuals, just I was in awe, dude. I was in awe. But it's just how the characters slowly, gradually change as the series progresses because they've met other people. And those other people have allowed them to be where they are today. And I think that's what made the guy that I'm talking about, whenever he had all those bandages and things around him, like basically he was carrying the burdens of all the people that he had defeated over all the years and the people that had retired and everything. He was still carrying that. He was carrying that weight. And he was like, man, you know, he said a beautiful line about how, you know, life is filled with nothing but goodbyes. And he continued to talk about that, but he talked about memories. And about how important memories are, about how there's people that he liked, people that he disliked, but every single interaction that he ever had on this journey made him who he is today, and he wouldn't trade it for anything. And I'm all about that. I love that type of stuff, and I feel like that is what March Comes In Like a Lion is all about. These interactions that these characters have had, they will have something that takes them later on, dude. When the stuff started happening with Takahashi in that arc, I was like, yo, because of what happened earlier, now is this happening now? And I just felt that way the entire series, where I was like, the smallest interactions from earlier on in the story are now paying off now. They're paying off now. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, man. And I loved every second of it, dude. It's like, I know I've talked for God knows how long, but I real deal don't know how to express myself here, man. I don't. I don't, man. I really, really don't. Because there's just so many things that I love about it. So many different reasons that I can't pinpoint one exact thing, man. The entire experience, the entire package, the fact that just seeing certain characters be happy once again after having so much turmoil brings a tear to my eye, man. That's when I know. That's when I'm looking at the television. I'm like, by God, what more do I need? What more do I need? Like, art is made for you to feel something. And this thing made me feel a lot. It made me feel everything from pure happiness to extreme sadness to pure anger to gratitude. Things that I had felt with series that I've been with for 10 plus years. I've only been with this series for about a week, man, in real time. But because of all of those one-shot episodes, and because of all those little small interactions and moments with all the characters, because the author put so much time into building up the cast, everyone from teachers, oh my, the importance of teachers, man, and certain conversations that were had with certain teachers, I was like, man, dude, this is hitting way too close to home. And there's a reason why Yoshida Shoyo is one of my all-time favorite characters. It's because I have this thing with teachers, man, because I was really helped by teachers growing up. Teachers were a massive part of my school life, man. I had some pretty bad ones, but the wonderful ones are the ones that stick with me to this day and are a major part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today. They helped me through a lot, man, and it's because I was helped by those teachers that I have that strong connection to individuals that genuinely want to be great teachers. And even if they themselves are still trying to find, I mean, everybody's trying to find themselves on a journey, but just like the head teacher, whenever he was talking to old girl, he was like, yo, yeah, I don't have an answer, all right? I don't have an answer for you. But then he started talking about his own life. And then right before he left outside, it's like he was spitting so much facts directly to her soul. And I was like, man, that's life experience talking. That's stuff that is in the writer's notes that'll never see the light of day, but because it's in the writer's notes, it was able to express it through that teacher's 2 to 3 lines of dialogue that told us way more than any backstory could. And it's moments like that, man, that make it really special to me, bro. And, man, dude, so many incredible episodes, some of the best episodes that I have experienced, man. And I have experienced a lot of greatness. I've been watching and in this medium for God knows how many years, ever since I was like 3 years old when I first watched Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball and all that stuff whenever I was young, man. Ever since then, yo, if I were to ever concoct and create a list of like favorite episodes that I've seen, I think this one has some spots. I really, really do, man. Like I said, man, I binged like 30 episodes today, so my brain is fried. But my soul isn't, man. There were just certain scenes, certain moments, certain character arcs that just really, really hit home. But that Hina arc, man. Everything surrounding her character and Rei and Nikaido and in that section was just hitting every single possible note that I could ever ask for in a story, man. I was so immersed, so compelled. I mean, I feel like every episode I was feeling emotions that I was like, man, how am I still feeling this? Like usually after feeling it for one episode, like, all right, next episode I'll be good. It was non-stop, man. And it was different emotions. Like sometimes I'd be tearing up out of happiness, and sometimes I would just be genuinely like so angry I'd want to celestial dragon punch somebody. It's like, how are they doing this? And it gave me not only, you know, those emotions as somebody reading it, but also gave me inspiration as somebody who wants to be in this business. Because this person is a master at structure. The author of this series knows how to structure their content, because there are certain scenes that they save for after a scene takes place that makes it flow so well. A quick example of this is the shaved head dude that I was talking about earlier. We didn't get that guy's backstory until after that match took place. Why? Because the initial feeling that we were supposed to get was Flagnard's Nikaido. Something happened with my boy. And that was the main focus. Nothing else needed to get in front of that. Right? We didn't need to feel sympathy for the other individual. We just needed to see what was going on with Nikaido. So after we got that, then we got the backstory. And I was like, and it's stuff like that. We got the same thing with certain stuff with Hina. Same thing with certain stuff with Shimada. Same, like, This person just knows how to structure the flow of a story and how to have it perfectly flow so that things seamlessly go into one another, and continues to make you feel, continues to keep you interested, continues to make you want to keep watching, to make you want to find out more. Not just because it's really, really good, but because you genuinely want to see where these characters go from here, man. And that's why I'm so sad it ended. Because I'm like, man, I wanted to know what was about to happen in the high school life. You know how happy I was for Hina, dog, and Ray. I was like, yo, let's go, man. I want to know what happens in the next chapter here. But man, I'll tell y'all what, man. From Akari's kindness, and every time that she'll come up with this massive dish of delicious looking food, whenever they're stuffing their faces, to Momo's insane cuteness, to Gramps' fiery passion, to Shimada always looking like he's dead inside but being as passionate as ever, to Nikaido being like the most passionate individual. It's hard to. This man looks like he belongs in Chihaya Food. That's how passionate he is, and how he presents it and everything, and especially with his story, it just makes you want to really, really root for him. Love his character. Nikaido's so great. Your characters like Hina, man. You know, from the very beginning, I was like, yo, I really, really rock with this character because I know exactly how she feels when it comes to certain things. I don't like showing my emotions when I don't need to. So, like, whenever she ran out to the bridge to cry, I was like, I understand. I know how that feels. I feel that. I vibe with that. And when Ray chased after her, they'd be like, yo, is everything all right? I was like, I definitely vibe with that, too. But, man, yo, when stuff was in and she was at her absolute lowest, but yo, in that one scene in the classroom, I think it was the first episode when we got the new opening in season 2, the second opening season 2, where the stuff was going down with the original homeroom teacher, and old girl said something, and he was like, "Yo, what'd you say?" And she walked over towards her, and I was like, in my mind, I was thinking what old girl was thinking. I was like, yo, she's about to get Celestial Dragon Punch. But no, she just got right in front of her, and it was excellent. She's just sitting just like this. He's like, yo, what'd you say? You thought I was gonna hit you, huh? I ain't stupid under your level, but I ain't just gonna stand down like it. I was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Hina Takawamoto. GOAT character. Automatic, a certified GOAT. Like, you're a certified GOAT, man. Hina greatness. And then my boy Ray, and like that, all of that, when he went to go see her down there, when he was doing his thing, yo, in that match, when he was having the match against dude, and he went forward with the piece, and then he thought back to Nikaido, who said, yo, don't look cool, just persevere. He pulled the piece back. Dude, Ray had so many amazing moments. You know, having sleepless nights, always looking out for every single other individual. You know, so beautiful seeing, you know, how he was at the beginning of the story where he was always alone in a similar place of where like Soya is right now. And yet because of all the people he found, because he found this house, he was able to really find this attachment to other individuals, and he allowed them into his life, and he became connected to them, and then going to the Shimada workshop, and then of course with his teacher Hayashida, I believe his name is, right, who's helped him through so much, and then joining the shogi club with the funny dude with the mustache. It's like he's gained and come to see like so many people into his life that are important to him, that have changed him in these different ways. And I think that's why that final scene hits so hard in both episode 43 and 44, with his pops, and with his it's his pops, it's his pops, and with his moms. Whenever they both had their moments right there at the end too, especially since they're now both in B2, he's like, yo, we're gonna finally be able to meet up there, and it's like now he's gonna be able to see Ray and how much he's grown. And I love those scenes in episode 44 where his mom was able to see just how much Ray has grown ever since then. because it allowed us as viewers to see, you know, truly. And I saw how much he grew just in season 2 alone. This man was, yo, Ray is such a goat MC, man. Such a great character. Cause like you just want to root for him. At the same time, you just want to smack him and be like, "Yo, don't think that way." But then you have like your own moment, and you're like, "That's how I would think in the situation. It's exactly how I would feel." And it's that type of way of feeling like, man, that's what I would have done, or I wouldn't have done it in that way, but I know why they did it in that way. It's like the way that they act as people. The way that they don't act like cardboard, that they genuinely feel like three-dimensional characters with all of their own motivations, their own senses, their own desires, their own flaws. You know, it all comes together like that. It's just, I don't know how the author did it, but they did it, man. They have the secret sauce. This is one of those series that has the sauce, man. And then the words that I love to hear every time that I see it on screen, man. You know, whenever they start talking about stuff like persevering, they start talking about hard work. When it comes to once again back to the shave dude, and he was talking about how I think when his flashback started, it was something along the lines of, if you dare, or if you believe, then your dreams can come true, or something like that. And then it continued with like, if you believe and you work hard, then your dreams can come true. And he finished it off with, if you believe and you work extremely hard as all of the other rivals around you, they're gonna come like a slimmer of a chance that a part of your dream can come true. And then they started talking about how like the reality of that statement, and since that's one of my favorite themes in anything, I was really brought into that. And there's a lot of focus on that with a lot of different characters. And I just really liked the execution of certain themes. Excuse me. I don't know, dude. It was just such a wonderful experience. So sad that it's gone. Like, man, dude, I want to do the continuation. Like, I'm still contemplating whether I want to read the manga or not because of how incredible the anime is. I mean, yo, that music and just the visuals, the imagery. Gosh. I mean, it's a rarity. Like, this might be like the peak when it comes to visuals, man. I don't know, dude. Like this one and Gatsuri that I watched last year, it's just when it comes to that type of, because it has the best type of combination I could ask for me, right? For my own personal tastes, because it has the really cool. I hate it, or not really hate, but when the camera's not moving a lot, it can give you an opportunity to like sort of zoom out a little bit, right? So I appreciate when a series like this, or like Monogatari, gives you like multiple different shots, and some people can find that distracting, but for me, I don't find it distracting at all, especially because I do have a pretty weird attention span. So when things are going pretty quick like that on the screen and forcing you to keep focused, I love that type of stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm 100% focused. You're focusing on the eyes and the face, the hair moving this way. You have like multiple different shots in like a second, and I like that. But it's not just that. It's whenever there are certain visuals, like whenever they're sinking down into the ocean, you know, to signify that how they're feeling, like how they feel choked, or how they feel extremely anxious. And how the imagery is showcased sometimes whenever they're walking and everything's red behind them, you know, showcasing anger and this desire to enact revenge or something. And then in the complete opposite of that, when everything's blue and you see everything completely bright and green, and it's that happy type of feel. And like the moments whenever they have the art style turn into like the Crayola and the crayon type of look for like some of the flashbacks. And it's just that combination of all of that and how it meshes so well together. that might make this, like, in terms of visuals, probably the most visually appealing series that I've seen. Like I said, I'll have to think about it because Godfrey was the same way, and I think this is also a Shaft series, right? So shout out to Shaft because they have my favorite visuals in the business, and it's coming from a Gainax baby. Like I was all about Gainax series when it came to like the visuals. I always appreciated that, but it feels like these types of series take my favorite things about the Gainax visuals and like amplifies them by not only giving us those type of quick visuals and shot exchanges and whatnot, but we're also making stuff look extremely beautiful. Like if it was like a KyoAni series or something, while also balancing that and a couple of different shots as well. I really appreciate how they've just put so much effort into the visuals because it is such a visual medium. You know, definitely on the hearing side as well, because the music is fantastic, voice acting is fantastic, because it is such because it is a medium that focuses so much on visuals. When you have something when you have as exceptional visuals as this, it's like Flagnards. And I guess with all that being said, man, it's super late into the night. I don't even care. I had so much fun today experiencing this. This was a ride of legend, an experience I'll never forget. And with that, man, I think I've come to my answer. I think I have come to my answer, man, of what a 10 means to me. And I think a 10 to me is to go on the absolute highest of highs, an experience that is so once in a Flagnard moon that you know while you're experiencing it that this is going to be something that is forever going to be etched into my soul, man. That when you see stuff like what was going down in season 2, and you have those moments with Hina where she was talking to her sister, trying to calm her down whenever they're having the conversation with the other girl and her mom, and Hina's sitting there and she's crying, holding Akari's hand, being like, yo, you've done enough for me, baby. It's okay, dog. It's okay. And when you have stuff like that that's just hitting, man, when you have the entire series filled with moments like that, when you have stuff that is so incredibly light in tone, and so comedic and so hilarious and also wholesome, and it's stuff so heartbreaking, and it's just some really, really serious stuff where you're like, man, I can't believe it's going as in detail into this type of stuff as it is. But when it has that balance and it's hitting stuff that I truly care about, it's like, man. But above all, when it's making me feel in the moment the way that this made me feel, the way that only a select other few have made me feel, while I'm experiencing, I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I don't want it to end. When I feel like I don't have the necessary requirements, when I don't have the writing capabilities to fully express just how much I love what I just experienced, I think that's a 10, man. When your series has Hinata Kawamoto, Rei Kiriyama, Hironobu Nikaido, when your series has these characters, can't give it anything less than a 10. Man, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. I'm gonna go sleep. I don't even know if I'll have this uploaded by morning time, but no rush, man. No rush. It's incredible how life is, man. You know, today I plan on doing so many different things. And instead I sat down and binged such an incredible series with, like I said before, one of my favorite stretch of episodes that the medium has, that I've experienced in anime so far, man. I mean, just wow. Season 2 was so masterful, bro. And it's thanks to what happened in season 1. And if it wasn't for what happened in season 1, I wouldn't have enjoyed season 2 as much as I did. But man, if you've gotten anything from this video, it's always remember that art is something that's about how you feel. And if you feel very strongly about something, whether it be negatively or positively, don't feel like you have to hold that in. Feel free to express yourself. Use your freedom of speech to talk about how you feel about something, because if you keep that inside for too long, it's going to eat at you. So always be honest with yourself. When you feel like something is a 10 to you, don't let anyone ever take that away from you, man. Because we may try to say something has to be objectively perfect or right in a whole bunch of different areas. But to me, when something makes you feel like that, that's a 10, man. When something makes you feel the way I did while witnessing Hina's story, Nikaido's story, Rei's story, Akari, Shimada, whole squad, that's a 10, man. And never let anyone tell you otherwise, bro. Because art is all about how you feel. And how you feel isn't how other feels. That's all I got, man. Alright, it's an awesome sauce of a day once again. Thank you so much to Araragi, to Shadow, to everyone on Twitter and on YouTube and on Discord who for the past few months, maybe years, have been pushing the series onto me, because y'all know me better than I know myself. And y'all know that once I got into this series, I would love it as much as I do right now, man. I don't know where it ranks in my favorites, but it's up there. That's for sure, man. I just, wow. Greatness, man. And I'll see y'all next time. I hope everybody has a fantastic one. And I hope to see y'all again in March Town, dog.